35192. Want to send a text to the show. AlanCoxShow.com if you want to watch live. You know, I made this a long time ago. The song is over 20 years old, but all of a sudden everybody is using Disturbed Down with the Sickness, or at least the David Draymond stuff, in their mashups. DJ Cummerbund dropped a new one where he puts it in the Menomina song from the Muppets. Have you seen that?
Love that song.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one if you're watching the live stream here. And he puts way more than just the ahs in there, too.
That's awesome.
Pretty good.
I promise. No, mommy, don't hit.
But if you're watching, nobody. It's pretty good. Very good. Yeah.
That's what I love about DJ Cummerbund is the mashups are great, but then he does the video mashups too.
Yes.
To match them, and it is a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's pretty good. DJ Cummerbund is undefeated, boy, as far as the mashups go. It is funny, that song, though. It's so cringy when you look back. The whole, oh, stop hitting me, mommy. You're like, oh, God. But Disturbed, back on the road this summer. Coming to Cleveland. I like those guys. Hey, we're going to be, well, I will be at the Brew Kettle tonight. Bill and Mary have things to do, but Poundcake, are you going? I don't want to leave you out.
I am not. I won't be there.
I'll be the one from the show that's there if anybody gives a fat frog's ass. But I know Stansbury's going to be there. I think a lot of us are going to be there because we're tapping the inaugural keg for the Rockin' Buzzard Brew. Bill and I had some yesterday morning as it was getting canned out at the Brew Kettle Brewery in Middleburg Heights. And so we kind of got the jump on it there. We posted a lot of video from there, too. If you follow any of us, it's you can check it out. But the can looks awesome. The beer is legit.
It's great.
Good. Yeah. And we're going to be out at the Brew Kettle. It starts at 5, goes till 8. I'll get out there, of course, after the show. But if you want to get there a little bit earlier, join some of the MMS crew. So 5 to 8, we're going to be rolling out that Rockin' Buzzard Brew at the Brew Kettle in Strongsville tonight. So I hope I'll run into you out there. And then wherever Brew Kettle beer is sold, you'll be able to get it in 4-packs, 16-ounce cans. And we haven't had an MMS beer in quite some time, and the Brew Kettle knocked it out of the park. And thanks to CLE Clothing Company, by the way, too, because they kind of helped out with the artwork there, and it looks great as always. Speaking of which, I have a new, since today's June 1, I have a new promo code. You know, you get 20% off at CLE Clothing Company, and we give you a different word every month. So we're coming off May, 31 days there. You're only going to have 30 days this month. For the promo code in June, which, Mary, what do you think?
Pride.
No.
That makes too much sense.
Pride makes too much sense?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I want you to recall that last month was poof.
Right.
So we're not too concerned about things like making a lot of sense, but it is not pride.
Well, the
Pound
boys
cake?
have to get a guess, yeah.
Sand.
Good guess. Not sand.
Summer.
Bill Squire goes with summer. 500 days.
Alan told me in the commercial break. That's why I let you guys go.
That's all part of the bit. But yes, summer is what you'll get 20% off at CLE Clothing Company, whether you find yourself in one of their stores, and I hope you do, or you're online, CLEclothingco.com. You can get 20% off with summer. You would have gotten to summer, Mary.
No.
Yes, you would have.
Grad, dad, cookout.
Grad, dad, cookout.
Those would be my next 3 guesses.
Oh, boy.
Graduates, daduates, cookouts.
So a buddy of mine sends me this story. A buddy of mine who has, his son is graduating high school. Mm-hmm. They live in Rich Township, which is very far south, suburban Chicago. It's like 30 minutes from the Indiana border in Rich Township. And the kids and the parents are all pissed because Rich Township High, where his son is graduating, they gave them like the sashes. You know how you have the cap and the gown?
Mm-hmm.
And they misspelled graduate.
No,
They spelled
didn't.
gradutate.
I love that so much.
And they're like, we made 600 plus, big class, made 600 plus of these, and all of them were spelled wrong. And the people in charge admitted that they never checked beforehand. And so now they're trying to Photoshop it from every graduation picture where it shows up. It's so simple. I don't know why people don't check the spelling of things. You can watch, this is how you know there's nobody behind the wheel anymore. And it's no one's fault in local television. They've just slashed those staffs so much that everybody's spinning 100 plates. But you can watch a television chyron with words that are misspelled. So Rich Township graduates, and not every school gets these, the stole that goes around your neck, and it looks like you have two neckties on either side, you know. Gradutate. This is what they misspelled.
Oh, I love that.
And so I was like, oh. And my buddy's kid doesn't care. But it's funny.
It's very
For
funny.
them, they're like, this is awesome. I don't know if any, parents are more pissed than anything else.
No, I think
It's like the school. It's like the school where a couple days ago, I don't even know if we were talking about, but the school that printed 2022 on all of the information for this year's graduating class, and the parents are like, "Come on, man! It's like not that hard. You know, we're proud of our
Yeah,
kids.
but what
we're
even
excited.
is time? Like it's a
flat circle.
You know.
But it's always the parents that get more upset because a lot of these parents, in their defense, can't believe their kids are graduating. So they're like, Jesus, you worked really hard for this. And for them to screw this up is no bueno. So they're in Rich Township, outside Chicago. They are getting a graduate. And in Florida, they had 2022.
When I graduate.
Graduate! Third Eye Blind going to go out and do that there. A little benefit concert for those kids.
First impression was, oh, they done messed up big time, right? You know, at first I was like, I don't really care, you know, we're graduating, but I had really thought about it, and I was like, this isn't right. You know, we're supposed to be the graduating class of 23. It's supposed to be our year.
As a parent, I am very upset, not only for myself, my child, but other parents, because they have worked very hard to be able to display their pride in their appropriate graduating gear.
Listen to her. She's pretty chill for a parent in Florida.
Sounds angry though.
Their appropriate graduating gear. You got to get the right AGG.
She's very stern about it though.
Yes. Firm but fair.
This is not something that would have bothered me at all. This is the only thing that's ever made me want to graduate.
To have graduate.
Had to have a misspelling.
Yeah. Class of 2022 and graduate in the same class. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Alan, how's it going, man?
What's up, dude?
So, you guys were talking about the Mason-Dixon line, and I know, usually you get everything right because you are the smartest guy on radio. But for this one, the Mason-Dixon line actually was a land dispute, and it went all the way through Maryland to the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And only went to the end of Virginia and Pennsylvania. It didn't actually follow the Ohio River, and it demarked the boundaries of Maryland, Delaware, and Pennsylvania. Right. It wasn't only until during the Civil War that the people started to lengthen it out to Missouri to delineate the line between northern freeman states and southern slave states. And Maryland.
So I guess it depends on what map you're looking at, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And also Maryland, where the line does demark. If you go up 95, you'll actually see the Mason-Dixon line sign there. But they were considered a freeman state, but the only reason they were free is because the governor, they sent federal forces there to keep it free. But that's all.
What I never understood, what I
yeah.
didn't understand in the cursory reading of the Mason-Dixon line that I recall from college was I didn't understand why Mason and Dixon were astronomers and had anything to do with setting up this line. I didn't understand the historical significance of that.
Well, it had more to do with the 13 colonies still trying to, and they weren't astronomers, but it had more to do with them doing land disputes left over from like when the king was giving out land to like the governors and everything. It's almost the same thing as if you look at the Michigan-Ohio kind of war, where the federal government had to come in there and delineate the line between northern
but what I'm saying is Mason and Dixon were astronomers, and I was curious why they had anything to do with the Mason-Dixon line.
They were the ones that were hired to delineate it. Now, why they hired astrologers, I don't know.
Well, astronomers, not astrologers.
I learned most of it.
It's like, I'm a Cancer, I'm Chuck Mason, and I'm a Cancer. No, astronomers.
Virginia's giving Virgo.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm actually an escaped Southerner.
Yeah.
So they teach us this stuff in history, whereas because the federal government in the South for decades has dictated what you have to learn. So everything about like the Civil War and how bad we were, it gets taught. So you learn.
So
all these
you're
little
taught
tiny weird facts
you were taught the War of Northern Aggression.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Where did you escape from?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, cool. All right, thank you. There's Michael in Lakewood. See, when somebody says they escaped from the South, I'm thinking like, Louisiana or something, but okay. Yeah, no. Mason and Dixon were, not only were they one of the greatest 70s soft rock bands of all time, but, earlier than that, in the mid-1700s, they were astronomers, and I never knew why they had anything to do with the Mason-Dixon line, but there it is. So depending on what map you see, it will extend all the way down the Ohio River there. What's that?
That one dude's jars.
Oh, God, the Dixon jars? I'll tell you what,
Not
we got
him,
I'm sorry?
idiot.
I'm sorry?
Mason jars. No one's
Never
ever
heard of it. But the Dixon jars, I've got a full line of Dixon jars. If you've never seen me
You got a bunch
with Dixon jars, it is, I'll tell you what, it's a sight to behold. How can you do more than one, they ask. It's an optical illusion, is what I tell them.
That are their little jars.
Little jars, that's right. Very, very tiny. Yeah, more like vials, really. But I don't want to split hairs. iHeartRadio app. You can leave us messages there, and we'll talk back button. People like to do that.
Hey, Mary, listening to yesterday's show. Thanks for the spoiler alert. I'm supposed to read what happened to the Bennetts in my book club this month. Thanks, Mary. Love you guys. Mean it. Bye.
By the way, all I've ever heard about book clubs I didn't realize they actually read the books. I thought they just got together, pretended they read a book.
That's a hack thing.
Oh, it is?
Men made up about their wives, yeah.
No.
People are legit about book clubs.
Well, I know some are, but I'm just saying, like, I've talked to people that are in book clubs, and they're like, yeah, we just kind of screw around for a little bit, and, like females that are in the book club.
Everyone I've ever talked to who's in a book club takes it very seriously.
Wow. Well, she certainly does.
But also,
by the way, I think Mary helped you out.
No,
frankly,
the information that I gave happened on page 6. You'd have found out within 10 minutes reading the book what I said. It's not like I gave away the ending.
Right. You gave away the beginning.
I gave away the beginning.
Which ruined the rest of the book for her.
You'll be fine. It's a good one. It's very sad. The first 180 pages are incredibly sad. And then it gets real good.
The first 180 pages are sad?
The whole first
and then it gets good?
The whole first part of the book is basically the family trying to adjust to life.
But 180 pages, how many goddamn pages are in this book?
It's like a 300, most of these like thriller mystery books are between 300 and 400 pages.
Really?
Yeah.
God, editing, ladies.
No,
editing.
That's the thing, is that you are wrong. And they are all very good and every page is necessary.
Well, I'll take your word for it, since you're the only one reading them. Well, no, she is too, and you ruined it for us. So. Sorry, miss. She's like, thanks, Mary.
I just want to read my book.
What's it called? There's something about the Bennetts?
What happened to the Bennetts?
What happened to the Bennetts?
That's not even one of my favorites of this genre. It was okay, but it was, like I said, more than half the book was so freaking sad that I couldn't read it for more than like a half hour at a time because I'm like, dude, this is depressing.
You had to put it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like American Psycho.
No.
I could only read about 30 pages at a clip of that book.
Yeah. Weird. No, the one I'm reading now is real good.
All right.
But I'm probably going to finish it this weekend. So you know what I always do?
When you're in law?
When I'm in law. What I always end up doing is when you're on Amazon Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, they'll be like, hey, if you spend $25, you can get this order today. Like you can get it between 2 and 5 p.m. So I'll be on there ordering like one thing, like seasoning or something, or like emergency packets or something like that. That's like $8. And so that's when I always save for my books, is that I'll go on and try to find a book that qualifies for same-day shipping, and that's usually how I end up picking my new book.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Listen, you can find yourself, and I certainly don't envy these people because it just would feel like wasted time to me, but better late than never. A guy who is an attorney, and that's no easy feat, right? Takes a lot of training and a lot of focus and a lot of whatever. Unless you have some preternatural gift for the law, right? It's a lot to become a lawyer. So you go through all that, and then you go, I really wanted to be a wrestler. I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and so that's what I'm going to do. Chris Freiberg was an attorney in Indiana, and he lost 140 pounds. He was a disability lawyer. I guess you're right what you know. And he decided he wanted to give up the law and become a professional wrestler. And it's not like you just walk in and you're hanging out with The Rock or you're hanging out with Andre the Giant or you're hanging out with The Undertaker. You know, you're doing one of these dumb backyard things where they're throwing you into an 8-foot table but he officially won his first title belt on the indie wrestling circuit. Probably BYOB. But congratulations to him. Very exciting.
And right now, Warren C. Freiberg is getting the tar beaten out of him.
Are these billable hours for Freiberg, you think?
Probably in some way.
You gotta be, right? Freiberg,
He's certainly not doing it pro bono.
Look at the smile on the face of Freiberg. Almost like it's an open and shut case.
See, if you're the guys calling these matches, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to you because it's just rife with law puns.
Yes.
Any other couple of dopes that are throwing each other around, you got to go, oh, he grabbed her around the waist. Oh, he threw it, whatever the moves are called. Oh, he put him in a suplex or whatever. He did the turnbuckle. I don't know that crap. This way, though, he's pro bono. Oh, look at that. There's just no precedent for this, Bill. Oh, he brought down the gavel on that guy.
I don't know enough about law to really keep this going because it's really not my thing. If he was a doctor, I watch a lot of those procedurals, but not a lot of law procedurals. If I watch Law and Order, I watch the cop part, not the court part.
That's right. I like the law, not so much the order. Oh, no. Look at that. He fell knee, and he's not getting back up. Boy, that's rough. You really got to stretch that one. Fell on knee. Just one? No, both of them. Well, listen. You have to consider what you would do if you were 140 pounds overweight and you lost it. You know, for a lot of people, they're like, I'm going to run around in pants. I don't know what. But, you know, this guy goes, I'm tired of being a lawyer in Indiana. I'm going to follow my childhood dream.
Yeah,
and in a way, it's very.
I respect it.
I do too, because in a way, again, better late than never. But there's always a little scintilla of sadness in people that go, well, I just gave up my childhood dream. Unless you were like a really stupid kid and your dream was like, I want to be a dog or whatever, you know. But people are like, well, I had dreams of doing this, and then I just didn't follow through with them. But this guy, and again, I know, there's some people who think that like lawyers are all rich, and nothing could be further from the truth. So it probably wasn't this guy probably didn't give up some amazing practice to become a backyard indie wrestler. But he was following his bliss.
Or maybe he did. Maybe he made enough money. He's like, I got enough stashed away that I can go be a wrestler for a while.
Maybe so.
The thing is, if you're going to make that move, do you really want to bring the lawyer aspect and make that your thing? Or do you want to go something completely different? Like, what would your wrestling persona be? Would you want to be Alan, the radio guy? And
That's nailed it.
I'm about to give you the PM pile driver.
That's what it's going to be. This guy should call himself the Judge. Here come the Judge. Except he was just a lawyer, of course. But yes. Oh, God, here comes the litigant.